Greetings, wonderful audience. Amarjit here from Amar PTE classes. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. So, do subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed yet, and share these videos with your friends also. And if you need any kind of additional help like online classes and offline classes, and you want to discuss some topics, then you can contact me. My number is given in the description box. In today's video, I'm going to perform a live mock test of the PTE. So keep your pen and paper ready along with this video. So I am doing this test on alpha PTE so that we can differentiate our scores also. So let's start the test. And this website is alpha PTE. So this is the first part, and speaking and writing, and time is 54 to 67 minutes. So let's start. So this is the introduction part. So if you want to give introduction, then you can give, but if you don't want to give, then you can skip it. So I'm skipping the introduction part. So this is the first question. Read aloud. Astronomers have conducted an impressive observation campaign using a total of 12 telescopes, both on land and in space, including 3 facilities belonging to the European Southern Observatory. The study has revealed the peculiar behavior of a pulsar, which is a dead star that spins at an incredibly fast rate. Astronomers have conducted an impressive observation campaign using a total of 12 telescopes, both on land and in space, including 3 facilities belonging to the European Southern Observatory. The study has revealed the peculiar behavior of a pulsar, which is a dead star that spins at an incredibly fast rate. Next question. Around 250 million years ago, 700 species of reptiles closely related to the modern day crocodile roamed the earth. Now, new research reveals how a complex interplay between climate change, species competition, and habitat can help explain why just 23 species of crocodile survive today. You will get 35 seconds for preparation. So during that 35 seconds you can read the paragraph, and after that you will get 40 seconds to respond your answer. So just speak after the beep sound. Around 250 million years ago, 700 species of reptile closely related to the modern day crocodile roamed the earth. Now, new research reveals how a complex interplay between climate change, species competition, and habitat can help explain why just 23 species of crocodile survive today. The study across 3 countries led by the Department of Psychology's Dr. Paul Heller discovered people who prioritized achievement over enjoyment were less happy on the next day, whereas those who aimed for freedom said they had a 13% increase in well-being, recording better sleep quality and life satisfaction. The study across 3 countries, led by the Department of Psychology's Dr. Paul Hennell, discovered people who prioritized achievement over enjoyment were less happy on the next day, whereas those who aimed for freedom said they had a 13% increase in well being, recording better sleep quality and life satisfaction. An endlessly rotating beach ball, a program that crashes without saving data, or systems that require illogical procedure or simply do not work. Unfortunately, struggling with computers is still a familiar situation for most of us. Tearing your hair out over computers that do not work remains very common among users, according to new Danish research. An endlessly rotating beach ball, a program that crashes without saving data, or systems that require illogical procedures or simply do not work. Unfortunately, struggling with computers is still a familiar situation for most of us. Tearing your hair out over computers that do not work remains very common among users, according to new Danish research. A new form of random number generator for encryption created at Linköping University in Sweden has the potential to make digital information exchange safer, more cost effective, and environmental friendly. Researchers involved in the study believe that this innovative technology could open up possibilities for a novel form of quantum communication. So if you are facing difficulty in pronouncing any particular word, then you can skip it. Remember this point. A new form of random number generator for encryption created at university in Sweden has the potential to make digital information exchange safer, more cost effective, and environmentally friendly. The researchers involved in the study believe that this innovative technology could open possibilities for a novel form of quantum communication. Scientists have achieved the restoration of impaired brain function in mice models of stroke by utilizing small molecules, which may hold promise as a potential therapy for stroke recovery in the future. And this is the name, and I am facing difficulty in it. Explain that the treatment has demonstrated the ability to partially restore communication between nerve cells in significant areas of the brain that are affected by stroke. Scientists have achieved the restoration of impaired brain function in mice models of stroke by utilizing small molecules, which may hold promise as a potential therapy for stroke recovery in the future. Explains that the treatment has demonstrated the ability to partially restore communication between nerve cells in significant areas of the brain that are affected by stroke. So it was little bit difficult. As the nights draw in and the days turn a little gloomy, the winter months can often have an impact on our mental and physical health. With that in mind, a trip to sunnier climates might be exactly what you need to give your well being a boost. As the nights draw in and the days turn a little gloomy, the winter months can often have an impact on our mental and physical health. With that in mind, a trip to sunnier climates might be exactly what you need to give your well being a boost. So, repeat sentence.
Students are asked to prepare material in advance of each weekly seminar.
Students are requested to prepare the weekly materials in advance for each weekly seminar.
Customers are required to rate the extent of their satisfaction.
Customers are required to rate the extent of their satisfaction.
Every car maker in Europe has sort of been on the blocks because of their dependence on diesel.
Every car maker in the Europe has the blocks because of their dependence on diesel.
The actual versus expected use of the tool is now evident.
The actual versus expected use of the tool is now evident.
His research fascinates due to his natural curiosity and inquisitiveness.
His research fascinates due to his natural curiosity.
Don't forget to explore the library during your first week here.
Don't forget to explore library during your first week here.
Students in need can attend a study skills seminar for assistance.
Students in need can attend a study skill seminar for assistance.
Poverty, not a lack of food, is the main cause of global hunger.
Poverty, not a lack of food, is the main cause of global hunger.
Please register your student email account as soon as possible.
Please register your student email account as soon as possible.
Make sure to hand in all assignments by the end of the week.
Make sure to hand in all assignments by the end of the week.
Test the new hypothesis through a controlled experiment for verification.
Test the new hypothesis through a controlled experiment for verification. So this is the describe image. Now we have lot of content, but try to speak at least 5 to 6 keywords for describe image. So this is the name of the image, rate of discoveries at 5 years, and citation distance, or you can see CTD randomized. The image provided shows us information about rate of discoveries at 5 years. It displays various elements on the different axes. In the image, there are different colors like red, green and blue. Additionally, I noticed the keywords like citation distance, percentage discovered and CTD, as well as 0.2%, 0.4% and 0.6%. Furthermore, within the image, one element is maximum and other is minimum. Overall, the image is very informative. So this is the subscription based company growth rate, and here is the percentage 5, 10 and 15, and this is subscription based company growth. Again same keyword S&P. Company growth and sales growth. I think this is the right. The image provided shows us information about subscription-based company growth rate. It displays various elements on the different axes. In the image, there are different colors like red, green and blue. Additionally, I noticed the keywords like company growth and sales growth, as well as 5%, 10% and 15%. Furthermore, within the image, one element is maximum and other is minimum. Overall, the image is very informative. So this is the China mobile media entertainment daily time spent. So this is the lengthy, and here are the keywords audio, reading and social networking, and here is the percentage. You can also use video, game and social networking. It's on you which one do you want to use. The image provided shows us information about media entertainment daily time spent. It displays various elements on the different axes. In the image, there are different colors like red, green and blue. Additionally, I noticed the keywords like audio, reading and social networking, as well as 13%, 47%. Furthermore, within the image, one element appears to maximum and other seems to minimum. Overall, the image is very informative. So this is the detailed lecture. Try to note down the phrases.
While a written word might have multiple definitions, we can usually determine its intended meaning through context. In speech, however, a word can take on additional layers of meaning. Tone of voice, the relationship between speakers, and expectations of where a conversation will go can imbue even words that seem like filler with vital information. This is where and come in, or and m, tuota and eto and ano. Linguists call these filled pauses, which are a kind of hesitation phenomenon. And these seemingly insignificant interruptions are actually quite meaningful in spoken communication. For example, while a silent pause might be interpreted as a sign for others to start speaking, a filled pause can signal that you're not finished yet. Hesitation phenomena can buy time for your speech to catch up with your thoughts, or to fish out the right word for a situation. And they don't just benefit the speaker. A filled pause lets your listeners know an important word is on the way. Linguists have even found that people are more likely to remember a word if it comes after a hesitation. Hesitation phenomena aren't the only parts of speech that take on new meaning during dialogue. Words and phrases such as like, well, or you know function as discourse markers, ignoring their literal meaning to convey something about the sentence in which they appear.
So try to note down the phrases and always use a good template for retail lecture so that you can get good score. The speaker was discussing hesitation phenomenon. He talked about determine the intended meaning through context. He mentioned that a conversation will go on. He highlighted that meaningful in spoken communication. He discussed that right word for a situation. Finally, he suggested that word and phrases such as like and will. Overall, the lecture was very informative. So answer short question.
Where does a pilot sit in an aeroplane?
Cockpit.
What happens to a balloon if you overinflate it or inflate it beyond its capacity?
Burst.
A private teacher who gives lessons outside school hours is commonly known as
Tuition.
What is the term used to describe the state of distress experienced by an individual who is suddenly exposed to a new or foreign cultural environment?
Cultural shock.
What is the formal name of breathing?
Respiration.
What is the home of wild animals like foxes called?
Done. So this is summarized written text. You will get 1 to 2 questions in the final exam of summarized written text. So you can start from the first line as well, and you can also start from the second line. So let's take a first line. Advertising. So first you have to write although. Check your spellings of although because some students usually make mistake in it. Advertising. Is both an art and a science, comma, combining creativity and strategy to convey messages and influence consumer behavior. So after that semicolon, give a space. Now second connector but, comma, then again give a space. Now you can also choose the second line from here also, but I can take this line, but it is too small, and now I can use these line. it also enables this one. Yeah, we can take it this line. It also enables interactivity, engagement, and real time feedback, enhancing the overall effectiveness of campaigns. So semicolon, last connector is hence, then comma, give a space. So we have 36 words, and we can take this line, or you can also take this line. Creative elements capture attention. Creative elements capture attention and leave a lasting impression while data driven insights ensure that messages are tailored to resonate with the target audience. So now we have 59 words. Word limit is 50 to 70 words. If you are writing 49 words and 71 words, then you will get 0 marks because your form is not satisfied. So form means you have to write within 50 to 70 words. So proofreading is very important in this task. So let's do it. Although advertising, here is the advertising, is both an art and a science, combining creativity and, so here is the mistake, and strategy, combining creativity and strategies to convey messages and influence consumer behavior. Now, but it also enables interactivity, engagement, and real-time feedback, enhancing the overall effectiveness. So check your spellings of effectiveness of campaigns, campaigns, campaigns. Hence, creative elements capture attention and leave a lasting impression, while data-driven insights ensure that messages are tailored to resonate with the target audience. So don't use full stop in between the lines because you can lose your marks. So you will get only 10 minutes to write the paragraph, write the summary, summarize it in text, and it is contributing in the reading section as well as in the writing section. So I think there is no mistake. So if you will made a mistake of one spelling, then you will get 1 point in spellings, and if you are making 2 or more than 2, then you will get 0 points. Same for the grammar. And form is always write in the form like 50 to 70 words. So just click on the next button. So this is write an essay. So you can again follow the template in write an essay. So I am using my template. You can use your template also. The contribution of technology on human society is visible to everyone. However, nowadays humans are dependent on the mercy of science. Now you have to write the topic of technology too. The impact of technology on social isolation. This essay will discuss both sides of the argument. This essay will discuss both sides of the argument and come to a logical conclusion. Always try to write by speaking, because if you will make mistake then you can check it. Now first and foremost, there are many reasons in favor of the argument. The best explanation is that the value of science is appreciated by us whenever we are in a difficult situation. Next, for example, in a survey, conducted by leading researchers, most people gave positive feedback on science. Hence it is that we cannot ignore the positive outcome of the given notion. On the contrary, the people opposing the argument have their strong reasons. The justification is that On occasions when we need the help of science, on occasions when we need the help of science, it exposes to us its darker side. For instance, it exposes to us its darker side. For instance, many studies have proved the highly negative impacts of science on human life today. Therefore, one can postulate that this scenario has various drawbacks that have to be seen. Whenever we think of technology, a mixed feeling surrounds us and leaves us wondering how the future will be. However, after discussing both sides, one can conclude that the impact of technology on social isolation. So the time limit is 20 minutes for one question. You will get 1 to 2 questions in the final exam, but the word limit is 200 to 300 words. Now we have 204 words. So यूज़ थिंक अबाउट योर टैम्पलेट कि आपके जो टैम्पलेट है उसमें कितने वर्ड्स हैं. सो मीन्स हाउ यू कैन राइट दीज टैम्पलेट्स. So let's check. Proofreading is also again very important. The impact of technology. The essay will discuss both sides. So you can check your time here also. 10 minutes are left. Always try to write down within the 10 to 15 minutes so that you remain some time for the proofreading. So save your time for the proofreading as well, and always try to write down within 10 to 15 minutes. So I think there is no mistake, so we can click on the next button. So in final PT exam you can check your template, means check your spellings carefully and try to note down the, always try the, means always try to check these spellings when you are writing, while you are writing, because sometime when will you do proofreading after finishing the task, then sometime you will not able to find the wrong spellings. So I suggest you कि always try to check the spellings during reading. So always try to read by using speaking. So when you will speak, then you can also write down the spellings. So next question. So next part is the reading part, and the time period is 29 to 30 minutes. So let's check the questions कि आपको questions कितने आ रहे हैं. So this is the first question. Now we have 18 questions of the reading section. So you have to attempt carefully, and you have only 35 minutes to attend this task. Now a survey of this have recently published work conferences revealed that many of them see the possible future development of superhuman AI having a non-trivial chance of causing human extinction or other extremely bad AI related outcomes. Almost 58% of researchers said they considered that there is a 5% chance of such. 5% chance of such. So chance of such है means plural होगा, but आपके पास सारे ही plural हैं. Places, people, scenarios and prompt. बट यहाँ पे वो बात कर रहा है AI रिलेटेड आउटकम्स की, कि AI अगर हम यूज़ कर रहे हैं तो उससे रिलेटेड कोई कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई है. सो पॉसिबल फ्यूचर डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द सुपर ह्यूमन AI. सो चांसेस ऑफ सच, प्लेसेस, पीपल या सिनेरियोज. बट अगर AI की बात हो रही है तो इट मीन्स वहाँ पे सिनेरियोज ज़्यादा सुटेबल करता है. प्लेस किसी जगह की बात नहीं हुई है और लोगों की बात भी नहीं हुई है. सो यहाँ पे क्या आ जाएगा हमारे पास, सिनेरियोज. नाउ द सर्वे ऑल्सो आस्क पार्टिसिपेंट्स टू शेयर देयर थाट्स. मीन उन्होंने अपने थाट्स को शेयर करना है. एंड द पॉसिबल टाइमलाइंस फॉर द फ्यूचर AI टेक्नोलॉजिकल माइलस्टोन. तो वो अपने थॉट्स को शेयर करेंगे और पॉसिबल टाइमलाइंस को भी शेयर करेंगे फॉर द फ्यूचर AI माइलस्टोन्स के लिए. उसके साथ साथ वो ये चीज़ भी शेयर कर रहे हैं, कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ऑफ दोज अचीवमेंट्स. तो मीन्स साथ साथ, अगर हम साथ साथ वर्ड यूज़ कर रहे हैं, मीन दे आर शेयरिंग दिस एंड दे आर ऑल्सो शेयरिंग दिस, देन वी यूज़ ऑलवेज एज वेल एज. सो आपको कोई और ऑप्शन सोचने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Next है, the survey researcher predicted that within the next decade AI system have a 50% or higher chance of successfully dash most of 39 sample task. अब उसने बोला है कि जो AI सिस्टम है उसके पास 50% और उससे भी ज़्यादा चांसेस हैं ऑफ सक्सेसफुली डैश करने का. मतलब वो 39 जो टास्क हैं उनको ये कर सकता है. क्या कर सकता है, टैकल. क्योंकि ट्रांसप्लांट नहीं करेगा, ट्रैम्बलिंग भी नहीं करेगा, टॉकिंग भी नहीं करेगा. तो AI हम यूज़ करते हैं लाइक चैट GPT. तो हम टास्क को क्या करते हैं, टैकल करते हैं. तो यहाँ पे क्या आ गया, टैकलिंग. नाउ अब वो टास्क कौन कौन से हैं, राइटिंग न्यू सॉन्ग्स भी हो सकते हैं, कोडिंग एन इंटायर वेबसाइट भी हो सकती है, फ्रॉम डैश, फ्रॉम कैश, कुम्बरसम एंड स्क्रैच एंड कोड. बट आपने क्या करना है, आपने जो कोडिंग लिखनी है, कोई वेबसाइट बना रहे हो तो स्क्रैच से ही लिखोगे. स्क्रैच मतलब बिल्कुल स्टार्टिंग से. तो अगर बिल्कुल स्टार्टिंग से लिख रहे हो तो यहाँ पे क्या आ गया, स्क्रैच. नाउ अब उसने बोला कि पॉसिबल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ AI दैट कैन आउट परफॉर्म ह्यूमन्स ऑन एवरी टास्क वाज गिवन 50% डैश, 50% कोड्स चेंज चैलेंजिंग या ऑड्स ऑफ हैपनिंग बाय 2047. तो अब उसने बोला है कि जो AI है उससे 50% चांसेस है कि 2047 तक ये सारा कुछ हो सकता है. ना उसने क्या बोला है, क्या हो सकता है, ऑल ह्यूमन जॉब्स बिकमिंग फुल ऑटोमेबल वॉज गिवन 50% चांस. तो मीन्स ऑड. नाउ इट इज डिफरेंट. नाउ इन 47 इट विल डिफरेंट. सो इट्स ऑड्स. वी विल चेक आंसर लेटर्स. नाउ यहाँ पे बात करी है उसने ईटिंग हेल्दी की. So a study compared the cost of recommended Australian dietary guidelines to dash an average, to if, to whether, to what, why. So यहाँ पे उसने बोला है एन एवरेज ऑस्ट्रेलियन फैमिली हु बाय एंड ईट फॉर अ फोर्टनाइट, मीन्स वो क्या खरीदती है और क्या खाती है. सो अगर क्या वर्ड आ रहा है तो हम यहाँ पे लिखेंगे व्हाट. नाउ दी स्टडी ऑल्सो, उसने अब स्टडी बताई है कि जो ऑल्सो हाईलाइट करती है दी हेल्थ बेनिफिट्स ऑफ डैश दी गाइडलाइंस, मीन्स आपकी हेल्थ को क्या बेनिफिट्स हो सकते हैं अगर आप गाइडलाइंस को फॉलो करते हो. अगर फॉलो मीन्स अगर आप गाइडलाइंस को मानते हो. तो यहाँ पे मिसिंग, अनफॉलोइंग, कटी या फॉलोइंग है, बट अगर गाइडलाइंस हैं तो उनको आप फॉलो ही करोगे क्योंकि बेनिफिट्स की बात हो रही है, तो अनफॉलो नहीं करोगे. तो यहाँ पे उसने डाइट बता दी है, फ्रूट वेजिटेबल है, होल ग्रेन्स है, मीट है, डायरी प्रोडक्ट्स हैं. तो उसने बोला अवॉइड करना है प्रोसेस्ड फूड है, स्वीटन ड्रिंक्स, डेजर्ट एंड अल्कोहल. द रिसर्चर्स सेड दैट डाइट्स डैश इन फ्रूट एंड वेजिटेबल, तो जो डाइट्स हैं जिनमें फ्रूट और वेजिटेबल्स ज़्यादा होता है कैन प्रोटेक्ट, वो हमें प्रोटेक्ट कर सकती हैं. तो ज़्यादा होता है तो पुअर नहीं होंगी, मिसिंग या मेड भी नहीं होगा, रिच इन फ्रूट. सो यहाँ पे क्या आ गया, रिच. एंड सम कैंसर्स, मतलब वो इन चीज़ों से हमें बचाती हैं. एज वेल एज डैश मूड एंड मेंटल वेलबींग, उसके साथ साथ क्या करती हैं, हमारे मूड को बूस्ट करती हैं. बर्स्ट, फटना हो गया, हर्ट या गेट नहीं होगा, मीन्स बूस्ट होगा इफ़ यू आर टेकिंग द डाइट दैट इज रिच इन फ्रूट एंड वेजिटेबल्स. सो इट वॉज ईजी. अब नेक्स्ट वो बात कर रहा है कोविड-19 पेंडेमिक की हैज़ प्रेजेंटेड अ कॉम्प्लेक्स पजल फॉर पॉलिसी मेकर एंड द पब्लिक अलाइक. इन 2020 द यूनाइटेड स्टेट विटनेस्ड अ ड्रामेटिक इंक्रीज इन वायलेंट क्राइम्स. 2020 की बात हो रही है, स्पेशली मर्डर्स, मीन्स उस टाइम वहाँ पे ज़्यादा क्राइम्स हुए थे, मर्डर्स हुए थे, विच डैश बाय नियरली 30%, सबमर्ज्ड, सर्च, डेजर्टेड या ऑब्जर्व्ड. सो अब उसने बोला है कि बाय नियरली, तो इतने नियरली मतलब इतने ज़्यादा हुए हैं, इसके अकॉर्डिंग, इसके आसपास हुए हैं. तो उसने बोला है कि उस टाइम पे इंक्रीज हुआ था, तो ये भी इंक्रीज करेंगे. तो इंक्रीज वर्ड यहाँ पे हमारे पास नहीं है, तो इंक्रीज से जो मिलता जुलता वर्ड है वो क्या है हमारे पास, सर्ज्ड. तो आपने इसका आंसर यहाँ से देखना है. इंक्रीज है तो यहाँ पे भी वो इंक्रीज ही हुए हैं, बट यहाँ पे इंक्रीज का जो सिनोनिम है वो क्या है, सर्ज्ड. अब यहाँ पे भी वो इंक्रीज ही बता रहा है, बट यहाँ पे उसने राइज वर्ड यूज कर लिया, तो इसका मीनिंग भी इंक्रीज ही है. लिंक टू ब्रॉडर स्पाइक इन गन वायलेंस with firearms dash in a significant majority. Now was used, which used, being used या will use. So इसमें use हर जगह है, बट हमने देखना है कि किस फॉर्म में आएगा. तो उसने बोला है कि ये चीज़ जो है गन वायलेंस ज़्यादा इंक्रीज हुई है, तो हम उसको कैसे जोड़ते हैं, इन अ सिग्निफिकेंट मेजॉरिटी ऑफ मर्डर्स, मीन्स उसको इस तरह से यूज़ कर रहे हैं. सो यहाँ पे क्या आ गया, being used. This national trend challenges the notion that local policy changes in specific jurisdiction are to blame, suggesting a broader underlying. अब यहाँ पे है कि उसने बोला है कि जो स्पेसिफिक जुरिडिक्शंस हैं उनको हम ब्लेम करते हैं, जो हमें सजेस्ट करती हैं ब्रॉडर अंडरलाइन इफेक्ट्स कॉजेज या केसेस. बट आपने आगे भी देखना है कि हमारे पास इसका क्या हो सकता है, क्योंकि अंडरलाइंग हम मोस्टली इफेक्ट्स ही यूज़ करते हैं. अब यहाँ पे इफेक्ट है और इफेक्ट है. सो इसमें एक होता है कि इफेक्ट जस्ट आपको क्या चीज़ इफेक्ट कर रही है या आप उस वजह से क्या इफेक्ट हो रहा है. तो अब उसने आगे बोला कि डिस्पाइट द इंक्रीज इन, मतलब इसके बावजूद कि वहाँ पे इंक्रीज हुआ है, इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट टू डैश. सो मीन्स ये सारे कॉजेज हैं, ये रीजंस दिए हुए हैं उसने, तो यहाँ पे क्या आ जाएगा हमारे पास, अंडरलाइंग कॉजेज. नाउ इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट टू डैश बोथ नोट अकर या थ्राइव. अब उसने बोला कि ऑल क्राइम रेट्स रोज, प्रॉपर्टी क्राइम्स फॉर इंस्टांस रीच अ रिकॉर्ड लो, हाईलाइटिंग द डाइवर्जेंट ट्रेंड्स. सो नोट दैट, इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट टू नोट दैट. तो नोट दैट मीन्स ये कॉलोकेशन आ गई, तो आपने वहीं से ध्यान रखना है कि यहाँ पे क्या आ जाएगा, नोट दैट. नेक्स्ट अल्कोहल कंजम्पशन की बात हो रही है कि जो कंजम्पशन है दैट इज़ अ मेजर रिस्क फैक्टर इज़ फॉर द लीवर डिसीज रेंजिंग फ्रॉम फैटी लीवर टू दिस. द लीवर इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर डिटॉक्सिफाइंग अल्कोहल एंड अदर सब्सटेंसेज as well as hundreds of other vital functions. उसने बताया कि लीवर का काम क्या है, पहले उसने ये बता दिया डिटॉक्सीफाई करना, फिर एज वेल एज वो ये चीज़ भी करता है लिविंग, डिस्क्राइबिंग, परफॉर्मिंग या चैलेंजिंग। तो ये फंक्शन भी परफॉर्म करता है इसके साथ साथ, क्योंकि उसने बोला उसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, तो इट मीन्स वो क्या करेगा, परफॉर्म करेगा। अल्कोहल डैश फैट अकोमुलेशन, तो अल्कोहल क्या करती है, फैट अकोमुलेशन करती है, इन्फ्लेमेशन करती है, एंड स्केयरिंग इन द लीवर विच कैन इम्पेयर इट्स फंक्शन एंड लीड टू लीवर फेलियर। तो यहाँ पे वो सारी डिसएडवांटेजेस बता रहा है अल्कोहल की कि लीड टू लीवर फेलियर है। इट मीन्स इट विल इंड्यूस, रिड्यूस नहीं करेगा, इंड्यूस मतलब उस चीज़ को बढ़ावा देना, उसकी वजह से जो चीज़ हो रही है, तो इट मीन्स इट इंड्यूसेस फैट अकोमुलेशन, इन्फ्लेमेशन एंड स्केयरिंग। Now, the liver becomes inflamed and tries to heal itself by forming scar tissue. This can result in, भला ये वो डिसीज़ का नाम बता रहा है, दिस कैन इवेंचुअली, मतलब उसके बाद अगर आप अब उसने बताया कि ये अल्कोहल के साइड इफ़ेक्ट हैं, बट अगर आप उसकी कंजम्पशन को कंटिन्यू रखते हो तो ये प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है। तो अगर ये प्रॉब्लम हो रही है तो इवेंचुअली हमें ये डिसीज़ है, सो इट मीन्स eventually. Now, the liver can recover from alcohol damage if alcohol consumption is stopped. मीन्स अगर आप अल्कोहल की कंजम्पशन को स्टॉप करते हो या रिड्यूस करते हो, द डैश एंड स्पीड ऑफ रिकवरी डिपेंड्स ऑन द स्टेज एंड एक्सटेंट ऑफ लीवर इंजरी। अब उसने बोला है कि जो स्पीड ऑफ रिकवरी है वो कहाँ पे डिपेंड करती है, सो डिग्री, कंसेप्ट या पेडिग्री या डाइट। सो यहाँ पे क्या आ जाएगा, डिग्री, मीन्स उसका जो रिकवरी का स्टेटस है वो किन चीज़ों पे डिपेंड करता है। फूड इज़ नॉट जस्ट अ बेसिक ह्यूमन नीड बट अ कम्प्लेक्स सोशल इंडिकेटर दैट रिफ्लेक्ट्स पर्सनल आइडेंटिटी, कल्चरल ट्रेडिशन एंड सोशो इकोनॉमिक। अब मोस्टली स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते हैं, इफ़ देयर इज़ अ सोशो इकोनॉमिक, दो कल्चर की बात करते हैं कि हमेशा मैम यहाँ पे कल्चर आएगा, क्योंकि रेस या अथेंटिसिटी नहीं आएगी। बट अब यहाँ पे उसने क्या बोला, दी सोशोलॉजी ऑफ फूड एग्जामिन व्हाट वी ईट डिफाइंस अवर रिलेशनशिप विद फैमिलीज, कम्युनिटीज़ एंड सोसाइटीज़। तो वो कह रहा है कि जो हम खाते हैं वो डिफाइन करता है कि हमारा जो रिलेशन हमारी फैमिली के साथ कैसा है, कम्युनिटीज़ के साथ कैसा है, या सोसाइटी के साथ कैसा है, क्योंकि कल्चरल वर्ड के साथ हमारे नॉर्म्स आते हैं। तो यहाँ पे सोशो इकोनॉमिक क्या आएगा, स्टेटस। तो आपने यहाँ पे भी आगे भी उस लाइन को रीड आउट करना है सो दैट यू कैन फाइंड आउट द राइट आंसर। इट एक्सप्लोर द रिचुअल्स ऑफ ईटिंग टुगेदर and this and how these practices vary naturally, gladly, widely या narrowly। अब यहाँ पे उसने बोला कि जो ये प्रैक्टिसेस हैं वो वेरी करती हैं अक्रॉस डिफरेंट कल्चर। तो अगर डिफरेंट कल्चर्स की बात कर रहे हैं तो वो वेरी क्या करेंगी हमारे पास, वाइडली, नॉट नैरोली। Next, the global food system with its intricate supply chains has made diverse cuisines hidden, accessible, old या ancient। सो अब उसने बोला है हैड मेड डाइवर्स कुजीन्स असेसिबल। अब उसके बाद उसने क्या बोला, कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटिंग टू द फ्यूजन ऑफ दिस बट ऑल्सो रेजिंग एथिकल कंसर्न्स अबाउट सस्टेनेबिलिटी। सो इट मीन्स अगर आप असेसिबल हो, हिडन नहीं होगा, अगर असेसिबल हो, क्योंकि दो के आंसर ऑलमोस्ट डिफ्रेंशिएट कर रहे हैं, बाकी दो बिल्कुल ही ऑड हैं, सो वी विल चूज असेसिबल। The rise of movements such as farm to table and organic heating highlights a growing awareness of the connection between food health and the environment. Analyzing food from a sociological reveals the layer of meaning it carries beyond mere substances. So sociological descriptive chapter या perspective। So sociological क्या होगा, हमारा perspective होगा, हम उसको describe नहीं करेंगे, perspective देंगे। सो नेक्स्ट है द राइज ऑफ गिग इन इकोनॉमी। फ्रीलांसिंग वर्क की बात कर रहा है, हैज़ फंडामेंटली ऑल्टर्ड द लैंडस्केप ऑफ लेबर एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट। द न्यू इकोनॉमी हैज़, सो हैज़ है तो थर्ड फॉर्म आएगी, डिफाइंड, सरप्राइज, रीडिफाइंड या कन्फर्म्ड। तो अब उसने बोला है कि जो न्यू इकोनॉमी है वो हमारी वर्कर आइडेंटिटी, मूविंग अवे फ्रॉम ट्रेडिशनल रोल एंड फॉस्टरिंग अ कल्चर। तो इट मीन्स उस चीज़ को रीडिफाइन कर रहा है, क्योंकि पहले ऑलरेडी डिफाइन है, बट अगर हम न्यू इकोनॉमी को फॉलो करें तो उन चीज़ों को हम क्या करेंगे, रीडिफाइन करेंगे। नाउ इंडिविजुअल्स नाउ ऑफन मल्टीपल गिग्स इज टेक इट, ब्रेक इट एंड जगल. सो हम यहाँ पे कहते हैं कि इंडस्ट्रियल नाउ ऑफन मल्टीपल गिग्स ब्लेंडिंग देयर प्रोफेशनल एंड पर्सनल लाइव्स इन प्रेसिडेंटेड वे. तो मीन्स उन दोनों के बीच वो ब्लेंड कर रहे हैं. ब्लेंड मतलब क्या होता है कि आप किसी चीज़ को ब्लेंड कर रहे हो हाथ से, ब्लेंडिंग. सो प्रोफेशनल पर्सनल के बीच में ब्लेंडिंग हो रही है. तो इट मीन्स यहाँ पे जो प्रॉपर वर्ड सूट करता है वो जगल करता है. सो जगल का मतलब भी क्या होता है, उछलना. जगल मीन्स आप किसी चीज़ को हवा में उछाल रहे हो, तो यहाँ पे वो वर्ड को उस वे में ले रहे हैं पर्सनल एंड प्रोफेशनल लाइव्स में. नाउ वैल्यूइंग एडेप्टेबिलिटी एंड इनोवेशन ओवर स्टेबिलिटी एंड डैश. अब स्टेबिलिटी है तो इसके साथ हमारे पास कौन सा वर्ड आएगा, रूटीन. क्योंकि हार्ड वर्क नहीं होएगा, स्टेबिलिटी के साथ रूटीन होएगा, तभी स्टेबिलिटी होएगी. Social protection and the long-term sustainability of this model, the absence of traditional employment such as. अब उसने बोला है कि ट्रेडिशनल एम्प्लॉयमेंट के जो रूल्स होते हैं, तो उसके लिए उसने बोला है जैसे हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस हो गया, रिटायरमेंट प्लान हो गया, स्टेबल इनकम स्ट्रीम्स हो गया. तो इट मीन्स सेफ गार्ड, उसकी जो गाइडलाइंस हैं. As the gig economy continues to evolve, it challenges conventional norms of work and dash us to reconsider. And means वो हमें इस तरह से पुश करते हैं, तो इट मीन्स पुशिंग. So this is now first step. We often talk about brain are kind of like muscle, they can be trained. It is the same with study. So ये it हमारा कहीं और पे पड़ा होगा. So once you develop a good study routine, the whole act of studying become easier too. For example, by reading a lot, not only do you learn tons of new things but also expand your vocabulary. So मेरे according जो first sentence है वो ये आएगा. We often talk about how brains are kind of like muscles, they can be trained. अब उसने ट्रेन कैसे करना है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, क्योंकि इसकी एग्जाम्पल उसने यहाँ पे दे दी कि हमने अपने ब्रेन को कैसे ट्रेन करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, बाई रीडिंग अलॉट, नॉट ओनली डू यू लर्न टन्स ऑफ न्यू थिंग बट ऑल्सो एक्सपैंड योर वोकैबुलरी. नाउ इट्स सेम विद द स्टडी. सो हियर इट इज, इट्स सेम विद द स्टडी. तो स्टडी क्या है, व्हेन यू डेवलप अ गुड स्टडी रूटीन. सो आई थिंक इट्स ईजी. सो पहले उसने ब्रेन बता दिया क्या होता है, फिर उसने बता दिया कि उसको ट्रेन कैसे करना है लाइक दिस. उसके बाद सेम चीज़ हमारी स्टडी के साथ होती है, वंस यू विल डेवलप अ गुड स्टडी रूटीन. सो यू कैन चेक फ्रॉम हियर. ब्रेन की बात यहाँ पे हो रही है, तो ब्रेन को ट्रेन करने की बात हो रही है. सो ब्रेन को ट्रेन पहले हमने रीडिंग के साथ करा, सेम उसने स्टडी के साथ करा, तो उसके बाद स्टडी को डेवलप करा. These line connect points that are at the same level. Topographic maps are contour lines to represent elevation. If the number become lower as you move toward the center of an area, these line also have number on them specifying which elevation. So we have to also take care of the time. So I think the independent sentence is only this, क्योंकि इसी में उसने जस्ट आइडिया जो है वो स्टार्ट हुआ है. टोपोग्राफिक मैप्स यूज कंट्रोल लाइंस टू रिप्रेजेंट एलिवेशन. तो यहाँ पे वो लाइंस की बात कर रहा है. तो अब उसने बोला कि दीज लाइन, सो कौन सी लाइन, कंट्रोल लाइंस. सो ये हो गया दीज लाइंस. अब इसमें उसने बताया कि जो ये लाइंस हैं वो कनेक्ट करती हैं जो सेम लेवल पे हैं. And when you travel from one line to the another, you are either going up or down in elevation. Now the lines also have numbers on them, and if the numbers, अब इसमें पहले वो बता रहा है कि यहाँ पे नंबर होते हैं, फिर वो बता रहा है कि नंबर क्यों होते हैं. तो अब यहाँ पे आ गया the lines also have the number, क्योंकि पहले उसने लाइन में बताया, फिर लाइन के पास नंबर्स हैं उनको स्पेसिफाई करा, फिर उसने बताया कि ये नंबर्स क्या हैं. So I think this is the correct sequence. You can check your sequence also because we will check the answers later. Prior to that, the earth ellipsoidal shape was not always taken. So पहले की बात हो रही है. They can also define the reference point for the various coordinate system using in mapping the earth. A geodetic datum is a tool used to define the shape and size of earth. True geodetic data, however, are only those which appeared after the 1700. So I think this is the independent sentence. मतलब उसने टूल की बात करी है यूज टू डिफाइन द शेप एंड द साइज ऑफ अर्थ. नाउ अब इसमें उसने बताया कि यहाँ पे भी डिफाइन कर रहा है और यहाँ पे भी वो डिफाइन ही कर रहा है. दे कैन ऑल्सो डिफाइन द रेफरेंस पॉइंट, मतलब शेप और साइज बताएगा, उसके साथ वो हमारे पास रेफरेंस पॉइंट भी बता रहा है. वेरियस कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम यूज्ड इन मैपिंग द अर्थ. नाउ अब उसने बताया कि आर ओनली दोज विच अपीयर्ड आफ्टर 1700. तो वो सिर्फ उसी का बताता है जो 1700 के बाद आई हैं, उससे पहले ये चीज़ नहीं थी. सो आई थिंक दिस इज़ द करेक्ट सीक्वेंस. पहले उसने बताया कि इस चीज़ को डिफाइन करता है, फिर इस चीज़ को भी डिफाइन करता है, तो सिर्फ 1700s के बाद वाला डाटा ही बता रहा है, उससे पहले हम ये चीज़ यूज़ करते थे. So is it the multiple choice question? Which one? Only one response is correct. So MCQ single, I think. Which of the following most accurately summarize the opinion of the author in the text? So we can't waste our time, so I think this was the correct. Which of the following most accurately summarize the opinion of the. So this is reading filling the blanks and we have only 15 minutes left. As the modern workplace evolves, there is growing dash of the importance of work-life balance for all employees. Both men and women are increasingly. अब इसमें मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी बताया था, आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू कि जिस ब्लैंक में जिस ऑप्शन में आप आंसर्स के लिए श्योर हो पहले आपने वही फिल करनी है. तो यहाँ पे आपके पास ऑप्शन है रूड, केयर, रिकॉग्निशन, टेकिंग, शेयरिंग एंड इन्फोर्सिंग. अब इसमें सेकेंड लाइन में बोला है बोथ मैन एंड वुमेन आर इंक्रीजिंगली रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज फॉर हाउस होल्ड ड्यूटीज़. तो टेकिंग मतलब वो अपनी ड्यूटीज़ को निभा रहे हैं या शेयर कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि टेकिंग और शेयरिंग दोनों हैं. इन्फोर्सिंग भी है. एंड चाइल्ड, तो चाइल्ड है तो चाइल्ड केयर ही आएगा. सो इट्स 100% श्योरिटी. नाउ योर 1 marks is confirmed. Now consequently many companies are dash flexible work policies that support diverse roles to help employees balance professional and personal commitments. तो कुछ companies हैं जो flexible work policies दे रही हैं. तो it means R है, ING या ED form आएगी, तो वो कर रही हैं, अभी भी ये चीज़ हो रही है, तो it means ये ING फॉर्म आएगी ना. यहाँ पे टेकिंग और शेयरिंग तो नहीं आ सकता, इन्फोर्सिंग आ सकता है. अब हमारे पास फर्स्ट है एज द मॉडर्न, जो आज का वर्क कल्चर है, देयर इज़ ग्रोइंग इम्पॉर्टेंस ऑफ वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस. मीन्स वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस है, सो इट्स रिकॉग्निशन, क्योंकि रूड तो हो गया रूड बिहेवियर. अब उसने बताया कि मैन और वुमेन दोनों की बात हो रही है. मेन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी फॉर हाउस होल्ड एंड द चाइल्ड केयर, सो आई थिंक इट्स शेयरिंग. बट आई एम कन्फ्यूज्ड हियर, यू कैन ऑल्सो चूज योर ऑप्शन. Career counselors often suggest introspection as the starting. Starting क्या होगा? Forward, case, sense, point, point ही होगा. Starting point. In finding the right career, understanding one's passion and skills can illuminate the way. The way forward या backward, क्योंकि केस, सेंस या मास तो नहीं बनेगा. बट कैरियर काउंसलर्स की बात हो रही है तो फॉरवर्ड ही आएगा. Many seeking a career change feel a dash of restlessness. If you are changing your career, then you will feel a sense of, not a case of. with their current path but may not have a clear vision of their future. In such it's essential to evaluate personal values and strength. So in such cases, so I think these are the correct options. Cryptocurrency scams have become increasingly prevalent as digital currencies gain popularity. Fraudulent schemes often high profits through complex trading strategies or mining investment, but instead use funds for new investors to pay to earlier investor. तो न्यू इन्वेस्टर क्या करेंगे? पे, गेट ब्रोकन diligence exercise returns. Similar to a Ponzi scheme, investors are urged to dash. So to है, with to we use first form of verb, to, and perform due. अब उसने यहाँ पे बताया कि जो ये स्कीम्स हैं वो हमें हाई प्रॉफिट दे रही हैं थ्रू कॉम्प्लेक्स ट्रेडिंग स्ट्रेटजीज. सो इट मीन्स प्रॉमिस, क्योंकि प्रोवाइडिंग वर्ड यहाँ पे नहीं है. तो रिटर्न दे दिया. सिमिलर टू दिस स्कीम, इन्वेस्टर्स आर अर्ज टू, इन्वेस्टर्स को एक्सरसाइज ही करना पड़ेगा, गेट्स नहीं होगा. एंड परफॉर्म ड्यू. सो उनको मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी, क्योंकि इस लाइन में वो यही आंसर बता रहा है, परफॉर्म ड्यू डिलिजेंस. सो जो फर्स्ट प्लैंक है उसमें उसने स्कीम्स की बात करी है, तो वो स्कीम्स ऐसी हैं जिसमें हाई प्रॉफिट है, तो इट मीन्स वो इस चीज़ का प्रॉमिस कर रही हैं. तो अब उसने बताया कि यूज़ फंड्स फ्रॉम न्यू इन्वेस्टर टू पे डैश, मतलब वो न्यू इन्वेस्टर से जो फंड ले रहे हैं उनको पहले इन्वेस्टर्स को क्या पे करेंगे? रिटर्न्स ही देंगे. सो सिमिलर उसने बताई है ये वाली स्कीम. तो उन्होंने इन्वेस्टर्स को अर्ज करा है टू एक्सरसाइज क्वेश्चन, मतलब उसको एक्सरसाइज करना है, एंड परफॉर्म ड्यू डिलिजेंस बिफोर एंगेजिंग. It's crucial to dash the significance of diligence when embarking on medical study. The discipline required for medical studies is dash to this needed in scientific research as opposed to the passive learning one might with watching medical drama on television. Those who prefer a more hand-off approach to learning may, unless they cultivate a deep engagement with rigorous, क्योंकि रिगोरियस होता है वास्ट, बहुत ज़्यादा फैला हुआ. नाउ इट्स क्रूशियल टू, कंक्रीट एसोसिएट है, अंडरलाइन है, अकिन, स्ट्रगल या मूव. सो अकिन मीन्स अ सिमिलर नेचर और करेक्टर. नाउ हियर इट इज विथ. सो आई एसोसिएट विथ सो फर्स्ट उसने बताया कि ये अंडरलाइन ये बताना बहुत मुश्किल है व्हेन एम्बार्किंग ऑन मेडिकल स्टडी. अब उसने बताया कि जो डिसिप्लिन रिक्वायर्ड है इज अकिन. अकिन मीन्स अ सिमिलर नेचर और करेक्टर टू दिस इन द साइंटिफिक रिसर्च, मतलब उसके साथ सिमिलर है. वन माइट एसोशिएट विद वॉचिंग मेडिकल ड्रामा एंड वो प्रेफर अ मोर हैंड ऑफ, मतलब जो आप काम हाथ से करते हो प्रैक्टिकली. लर्न में स्ट्रगल अनलेस दे, मतलब तब तक उनको ये स्ट्रगल करना पड़ेगा जब तक वो अपने हाथ से काम नहीं करते, जब तक वो अकेडमिक मटेरियल की उनको एंगेजमेंट या नॉलेज नहीं है. रिगोरियस. The water droplets that form clouds are held aloft by atmospheric currents. They are dash as condensed moisture. Termed the droplets that become too heavy to be. The precipitation is a vital part of the water cycle. Rainwater provide necessary hydration to ecosystem and is the primary source of fresh water. They are termed, मतलब उनको हमने इस चीज़ का नाम दिया है suspended. सो दे आर, उसको इस चीज़ का नाम दिया है, तो डिफाइन नहीं है यहाँ पे, तो हम यहाँ पे टर्म्ड ही यूज़ करेंगे क्योंकि जम्प्ड वर्ड हम नहीं यूज़ कर सकते. अब उसने बोला कि जो ड्रॉपलेट्स हैं वो हैवी हो जाती हैं सो दैट दे टू बी सस्पेंडेड इन द एयर परसेपिटेट एज द रेन. द परसेपिटेशन इज़ अ वाइटल पार्ट है, तो वाइटल मीन्स रोल जो हम कहते हैं ऑफ द वाटर साइकिल. दिस इज़ द सोर्स ऑफ फ्रेश वाटर. So this is multiple choice, multiple answers. So next section is the listening section and we have 30 to 43 minutes. So this is summarized spoken text.
Can you describe it the way Miss Flowers taught us? What do you mean? Do you remember how she told us to communicate using clarity and precision? Oh, I remember. That means I should be careful about the words I choose so that other people can understand what I'm describing.
We're always trying to get our students to use very specific language. We're saying that the more that you think with clarity and precision, the more likely you're going to be able to think better about situations. We don't want you to just be using generalizations. We want you, as young children, to begin to realize how important it is to be specific.
We want to urge children to use clear and precise language, and that if we detect vague language, we help them become more specific.
I get it! It's way more clear now. I pictured the story in my head and really focused on it so I could tell you all the details. And I saw them perfectly.
So the accent was very different according to the other websites. So let's do it because I was not able to write down all the phrases. Now this is the line of the template. The speaker was talking about, I think it's about clarity and precision. I think this was the main topic of the lecture. So you can write down the main topic of the lecture in the first line. Now firstly, he discussed. So this is the line from the template. The words I choose. The words I choose so that other people can understand. Next, secondly, he highlighted a very specific language, In addition, he explained to children to use clear and he explained to children to use clear and precise language. Moreover, the lecture was all about vague language becoming more specific. Overall, the lecture was very informative for me. So do proofreading. The speaker was talking about clarity and precision. Firstly, he discussed the words I choose so that other people can understand. Secondly, he highlighted the spelling, a very specific language. In addition, he explained to children to use clear and precise language. Moreover, the lecture was all about vague language becoming more specific. Overall, the lecture was very informative for me.
Hello, Professor Robert. What is your topic of discussion on this forum today? Thank you, George. Today, I would like to talk about the history of mining in the world economy. In fact, mining has been so crucial because of the materials it produces and technologies and tools that it enables that we even define the timelines of human history. Before agriculture began, we have the so-called Paleolithic or Old Stone Age era. Stone was the main mining object for human activity. After the end of the last ice age and at the beginning of agriculture about 10,000 years ago, we have the Neolithic era, the new Stone Age era. But then over time, humanity living near mineral-rich regions mastered the process of smelting metals. About 3000 BC, the human race entered the Bronze Age, a massive leapfrog in human civilization, with the smelting of copper, tin, and the alloys that were produced, creating new technologies to make armaments and many other human tools. About 1000 BC, Homo sapiens enter into the Iron Age. Yet another crucial mineral, iron ore, was smelted to production, and small amounts of steel at least. And again, massive changes of civilization and technology which came with this new mining industry, with this new mineral deposit. I would like to emphasize that the modern era which we usually date to the Industrial Revolution directly related to the mining sector. The entire modern world, the modern world economy that came roughly around 1800 AD onward, is the fossil fuel age, the age of coal, oil, and gas.
When summer hits, I dread jogging outside, but a study finds that elephants can be in true danger in the heat. As creatures get bigger, they have smaller surface area to body volume ratios. Fully grown Asian elephants thus pack a lot of mass into a body with a relatively small surface area, and surface area limits how much body heat you can dissipate. For the study, 2 female elephants in the Audubon Zoo in New Orleans walked around a half-mile track under various conditions. The outdoor temperature during these sessions ranged from a chilly 8 degrees Celsius to a scorching 35 degrees. Sunny, hot days were the worst. The already limited hide is now itself heated by the sun. With the equivalent of a busted radiator, the elephants retain 56 to 100% of their body heat internally, which could make a mere 4 hours of exercise fatal. The research on elephant exertion is in the Journal of Experimental Biology. Fortunately, elephants have ways to beat the heat. Shift activity to after dark and, of course, go for a dip.
So first one is as creatures, second is and surface area limits, and third one is these sessions ranged Next is equivalent of a busted radiator, and last one is exercise. So first one creatures, second limits, third sessions, next is equivalent, and last one is exercise. It's too lengthy.
Advertising and media companies often get lobbied to use models that represent the average woman's body, rather than ultra-thin models, whose images may influence some women to have an unhealthy relationship with food. Now, a study supports the idea that observed images affect what people consider to be acceptable body types. The report is in the journal PLOS One. Researchers surveyed subjects about their opinions of their own bodies and those of others. Then they presented the subjects with photos of large or thin women. Some photos were of beauty queens in evening gowns or other high-status clothing. Other photos were of women who were either very large or very thin, wearing just a neutral gray leotard. Following those viewings, the subjects were again surveyed about their body preferences. Subjects who originally preferred thin bodies only increased their preference for thinness after being shown photos of thin women. But they decreased their preference for thin bodies after being shown photos of larger women. And the attire of the women in the photos made no difference to the subject's latter preference. The researchers say that this study provides strong evidence that images of female bodies promoted by the media and ad agencies could have, indeed, a real impact on women's preference and subsequent thoughts about body type.
So first one is represent, next is relationship. It was lengthy, but all the options are easy. Next is opinions. Next is wearing. Next is decrease. Next is promoted, PROMOTED, and real impact. Next question, listening, filling the blanks.
Roosters greet the rising sun with, but they also crow at other times. So are they responding to the light, or do they simply know that it's morning? New research says the latter. Roosters crow because of internal time cues. The finding is in the journal Current Biology. Scientists controlled the light levels in rooster habitats. For 2 weeks, the birds experienced 12 hours of light followed by 12 hours of dim light. Consistent with the pre-dawn noises observed in wildfowl, the roosters began to crow about 2 hours before their rooms lit up. Then, for 2 weeks, the roosters lived in constant dim light, yet they continued to crow about once a day, at intervals of 23.7 hours to be precise. Even without morning light, their circadian rhythms told them when dawn should be breaking. The birds also crowed in response to sudden light and to the sounds of other roosters, but they were more likely to react when those stimuli occurred near dawn, showing that you can't really keep a rooster in the dark about the time.
So first one is responding, second is controlled. Now third blank, before third blank there is a full stop. So after full stop you have to start with the capital letter consistent. So here the option is consistent. Next is constant. The birds also crowd. Stimuli occurred. Responding, controlled, consistent with capital C, constant, dim light, crowd, and occurred with double R. Because if you are writing occurred then it's single R, but if you are write occurred then it's with double R. Highlight Krebs.
This is Hans Krebs, who in 1937 published a paper showing the sequence of chemical reactions by which energy is released in individual cells. It's called the Krebs cycle, which some of you may remember from your chemistry course in high school. Krebs is a wonderful example to me of how a scientist who is determined can overcome all kinds of human obstacles. Krebs' father constantly discouraged him and told him that he had just mediocre intelligence and would never do anything important in his life as a teenager. What Krebs remembers in his memoir, his father said to him, "You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear." And later on, when Krebs studied with the great biochemist Otto Warburg, Warburg also told him the same thing, not the same quotes, but that he had only mediocre ability and would never be a great scientist. And we all hear about how important it is for parents to encourage their children, but sometimes the children will go on to do great things no matter what we say to them.
The fortune of becoming a fortune teller is a dream for everyone. You get the privilege of looking into the future of others. In some places, they are called psychics. People come to a fortune teller to resolve their problems. The forecast made by a fortune teller may not be exactly true. Fortune tellers are not respected in some places, but in some places, they are respected a lot. Many get married only after asking the fortune teller. Fortune teller take this work as divine work. Even many entrepreneurs start the business after consulting a fortune teller. Fortune tellers use different methods to tell fortune. Some use numerology, some use astrology, some use cards, and some use crystals to gaze into the future of others.
So it was clear from the audio. The paragraph is about the fortune teller. So it's select missing word.
Barbara couldn't take it anymore. Her upstairs neighbor was blasting his stereo again. She had asked him twice already to turn the volume down. The first time she asked, he was surprised. He said he didn't know that she could hear his
Highlight incorrect word.
Rutherford Hayes was born in Ohio in 1822. He was a good student at Kenyon College and at Harvard Law School. He opened a law office in Cincinnati. When he was 30 years old, he married Lucy Webb. Later, he served as an officer in the Union Army during America's Civil War. He was elected to the United States House of Representatives. He also served as governor of Ohio. In this job, he helped establish the college that became Ohio State University.
The White House was the largest house in the country until after the Civil War in the 1860s. The White House has 132 rooms, including 16 family and guest rooms, 35 bathrooms, and 3 kitchens. There are 6 levels. The first level has many famous rooms. For example, the west wing of the White House includes the Oval Office. This is where the President works and meets with his advisors. The President receives guests in the Blue Room. And the State Dining Room can hold 140 people for official dinners in honor of foreign leaders. The second and third floors are the family's private areas. When it is cold outside, the President and his family can warm up near one of the White House's 28 fireplaces. And when it is hot outside, they can swim in the outdoor pool.
Today we look up into the skies to explore the past and present of the tallest buildings in the world. Skyscrapers were first built in the late 19th century. Engineers then probably would not believe the soaring heights of today's tallest buildings. Skyscrapers represent modernity, power, and the expanding boundaries of human invention and new technology.
Skyscrapers were invented in the United States. As early as the 1880s,
Two new technical developments made these taller buildings possible. One development was the mechanical elevator. It meant that people would not have to climb many steps to reach the upper floors of tall buildings. The development of steel building technology also helped make taller buildings possible.
Write from dictation.
Employment figures will decrease in the next few years.
Employment figures will decrease in the next few years.
We can see the stars that formed 13 billion years ago.
We can see the stars that formed 13 billion years ago. We can see these stars that formed 13 billion years ago.
Please make an appointment to see the manager.
It's easy. Please make an appointment to see the manager.
I think it's one of the best things I've done recently.
I think it's important it's one of the best thing I have done recently. So this is the score analysis of the 4 sections, and this is the test number 98 on alpha PTE. And if you will check the score, then it's overall it's 84, and in listening it's 84, and reading 87, speaking 77, and in writing 88. So I go through the whole test when it was evaluating. So due to some fluency issue or due to some fumbling, you can say that the score of the speaking is less. And this is the analytics of the score, means if you want to check the task wise, and this is the number of question for particular sections, and this is the analysis, like in read aloud, then repeat sentence, describe image, retell lecture, answer short question. And this is the writing task, summarize written text, then write an essay. Then in listening, the important task are summarize spoken text, then filling the blanks, then highlight incorrect words, and write from dictation. So this is the evaluation out of 90. And this is reading and writing, reorder, then reading, filling the blanks. That are the most important task of the reading section. So this is all about from my side, and if you have any kind of suggestions, means you want to give your views, then you can write in the comment box also, and you can mail me amarpteclasses@gmail.com. and if you want live session on some particular task, then you can contact me. My number is given in the description box, and that live session will be free of cost, but I need at least 60 students for a session. and please share these videos with your friends and like these videos, and do subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed yet. And thank you so much for watching this video.